Hey guys, what is going on? This is Bird5, and today I have another Flashback player review for you guys. We're going to be talking about the rookie Kenley Jansen. Before we get started though, I do want to compare this one to the Live Series Jansen, which is a diamond. Now this one is only an 87 overall gold, but I believe this is a better card, and let me show you guys why. If we go down here and look at the attributes and compare, we see that their stamina is the same. Yes, the diamond has 10 more clutch. But if we look at the most important attributes, I believe, hits per 9 and K per 9, the rookie Kenley Jansen has 99, 99, whereas the current Live Series Jansen only has 93 hits per 9, yet he still does have maxed out K per 9. So you're getting 6 more hits per 9 with the rookie. The rookie also has 6 more home runs per 9. Again, doesn't mean anything. But the one, I guess the one downside to the rookie one is the control. You see the Live Series has better walks per 9 and control in general. But let me show you guys why to ignore that control rating. If we actually go down here and look at the pitches, the Live Series, again, only has 3 pitches. And I think this is another advantage for the rookie Jansen. He has 5 pitches. But if we look at the control on the first 3 pitches, it's 99, 99, 52, 99, 99, 52. So the control is the same for those first 3 pitches. But you're getting 2 extra pitches with the rookie Jansen, and I would rather have pitches. Regardless if they have little to no control, I would take 2 extra pitches any day of the week. So you're getting the changeup and curveball with the rookie Jansen. Not great break or great control, but what they do is they give you an extra pitch to throw. They give you more options to set up his cutter, fastball, and slider. So I believe that's always a good thing, and that's one reason his control overall is a little bit lower, is because of the average there. But the walks per 9 is really the one noticeable. I guess the one noticeable downside to this card. But if you pitch with analog or if you go to meter, I believe you can overcome that deficit. So overall, and plus let me also mention that the Live Series Jansen is a closer and the rookie one is a reliever. If this rookie one was a closer, and I will actually show you guys that next, we'll actually see what the rating is. So then after that, we'll go into pitching practice and show you guys some gameplay clips, so stay tuned for that. Alright, so if we actually make the Flashback Kenley Jansen into a closer, he bumps up 2 points into an 89 overall. So that's already a 2-point jump. And plus you guys, you add in the fact he has maxed out per 9s, he has 2 extra pitches. And keep in mind, if you guys did not know this, they only account for the first 3 pitches into the overall rating. So those last 2 pitches aren't even accounted for to the overall rating. But we all know 5 pitches is exponentially better than having 3 pitches, regardless if you're a reliever or starter. So those reasons alone, I believe, make Kenley Jansen one of the best relievers in the game. As of right now, he's definitely a top 5 right-handed reliever, possibly a top 3. Next, we're going to get into some pitching practice and some gameplay clips, so stay tuned. Alright, so here we are in pitching practice, and there is one thing I do want to point out, guys, is Jansen does have some slight differences in his velocity with his cutter and fastball, and this is kind of weird. The rookie Jansen actually throws his cutter 1 mile an hour harder at 93 base, so he could probably touch 95 with it, whereas the current Live Series goes up to 92. However, the current Live Series throws his four-seamer a little bit harder at 95, whereas the rookie throws it at 94. So there's 1 mile per hour differences there between the four-seamer and cutter. The rookie throws his cutter harder, however the Live Series throws his four-seamer harder. So anyways, when we're facing a lefty, lots of different things you can do, guys. First, let me show you the break on the pitches. Now, Jansen does have 95 break on his cutter. He also has 99 break on his four-seamer, which I find to be really interesting. But this is what his cutter is going to look like starting out right here. It's going to cut all the way across the plate, basically cover a third of the plate. He also has somewhat of a interesting arm slot, whereas it kind of looks like the cutter can kind of sneak up on you. So I think that combined with his 95 break makes the cutter that much more effective. Now, let's go ahead and show you guys the four-seamer. It does have 99 break, which doesn't really look like it moves, but I don't know. If you throw it to his arm side, you will get a little telling action. I'll go ahead and show you guys. You get a little late telling action there, so I don't know, nice to have, but not really. I don't know. Basically, kind of like a two-seamer that doesn't break as much, but it does have some natural tell there at the end. Now his slider is also a really good pitch, has 84 break. And if you start it from here, you can see it's similar to the cutter, However, you're going to have a little bit more downward tilt to it. So that's the cutter, or the slider. That combined with the cutter can be a great combination to use whether you're facing a left-handed batter or a right-handed batter. Now let me show you Jansen's 2 additional pitches that the live series edition does not have, and that is the changeup. So if we start right here, his changeup will break just a little straight down. It's just kind of a wrinkle pitch to have that can make his low fastball, that much more effective. It's a good pitch to throw in there when you're throwing the cutter, slider, four-seamer down. It's a nice little wrinkle pitch to have. And then finally, the curveball comes with 50 break, 40 control, and it's usually at around 80 miles an hour. I mean, it's a typical curveball. It still has good break to it, even though it's 50. It's going to drop, nearly half the verticality distance of the strike zone. So if you throw it low, this is a good pitch to set up the high fastball. Whereas the live series Jansen, you can't set up his fastball with a curveball. So that's one good thing about having those 2 extra pitches. Now let's talk about actually using Jansen against lefties. Guys, I really love the cutter. It's one of my favorite pitches in the game. I love guys like Betances, Jansen, Jason Mott, whoever throws a cutter. I absolutely just love the cutter, especially on relievers that throw gas with great per-nines. And what you want to do is you want to set that cutter up. You want to try to jam them, see if they chase. Now, if they start to lay off, there's a few different things you can do. You can establish that fastball on the inner half, and get the called strikes. Of course, you can always do a high fastball, curveball combo. But once you start doing that cutter, fastball, four-seam combo, and you notice that they're on the cutter, you might not be getting the cutter inside all the way. You're noticing that they're fouling it off. Here's a great pitch to put them away, and that is the slider down and in, because it's going to look like it's a cutter. However, it's going to be a lot slower. It's going to be nearly 10 mile an hour slower. Actually 11 mile an hour slower, and it's going to have more downward tilt to it. So you get a lot of swing and misses on those as well. So those are the 3 main pitches you want to use: cutter, slider, and four-seamer to get your outs. Now you can throw in the changeup, just keep it down. When you're throwing all those pitches in on the hands, keeping them down, down and in, middle in, and you throw the same, you keep the same arm slot. Once again, we talk about arm slots. You throw that changeup down and in. I mean, you got 4 pitches that all look like they're coming in straight at you, but they're all doing different things. And then you add in the fact, I've already briefly talked about this, the curveball you can use to set up the high fastballs if you want to go that combination. Don't forget, guys, also the cutter. What I like to do sparingly is throw the backdoor cutters to lefties right here. So we'll go ahead and show you guys some of these pitches. There's the cutter. There's a lot of movement to that. Then also when you're doing those cutters away, you can do the four-seamer away as well. It's got a little late action to it. You see there, little telling action. So that can be a great combination as well. What you don't want to do is you don't want to throw too many curveballs and changeups, and you want to make sure when you pitch fastballs, you either get them inside or in the outer half. Of course, you don't want to hang them. And my favorite pitch to get guys out is that slider down and in. Of course, we missed our spot there, but we get a double play out of it anyways. But that's a great pitch. Now we're going to talk about facing a right-handed hitter. All right, so obviously I like to start my opponents out with a slider down and away. Especially if they have really quick bats. If they have slow bats, you want to expose them with a fastball in the inner half, of course. And if you're playing a really good player like in a World Series or CS and they have super quick bats and they're starting to look for that slider, well, that's when you go to the cutter. All right, they're going to anticipate the downward break to that, and they're going to start their PCI a little bit lower. Whereas when you throw that cutter, you're going to get them to pop up a lot because their PCI is going to be underneath it. So again, those 3 pitches right there are great. And of course, don't forget to show them the changeup or curveball at least once an inning, just to show them you have it. The curveball, again, you can throw. You can even try to throw it for a 3rd strike here, get them looking, and then that'll set up your high fastball even more. So you have a lot of options against righties. And you still have the changeup as well, which I don't use too much against righties. But if you're throwing a lot of low fastballs, it can be a great pitch. Just keep the same arm slot, guys, and all of these pitches feed off one another. It's really amazing. And let's try that slider away. That slider away is dirty. But just the fact Jansen has a curveball, you don't even necessarily have to have it. If you just show them the curveball every now and then, I mean, it can just do wonders. So there we get him chasing the slider down and away. Next, we're going to have some gameplay clips for you guys. Alright, so show you guys some gameplay here. Now, this opponent was actually a really good hitter. His pitching was awful. His team wasn't very good. But I decided to use Kenley Jansen against him. We start him off with a cutter away. This guy I couldn't get him to strike out either, but Kenley came in and do a good job against him. I see I get a cutter away for him to ground out there. A little bit out in front there for easy play for A-Rod. Sometimes that's what you have to do against really good players at Jansen. You have to throw those cutters away. Sometimes they'll be on them, sometimes they won't, but a lot of times they'll pull off them and you'll get easy ground outs or flyouts. Here I start him off with the curveball, just trying to show him anything I can to get him out in front, to respect the fastball a little bit, and I come right back with a changeup. I kind of tied him up there. That's what I mean. Sometimes you have to, go to the toolbox and pull something out that they haven't seen all game, and that's what I like about Jansen. Every now and then you can surprise him with a changeup, curveball, but I finally throw the cutter in on the hands to get him to fly out there, so kind of tied him up, and that was a really good player too. Moving on, this is I don't remember what his rating was. I think this was an 18 or 1900 rated player, but we decided to go with Jansen. Still a tight game, 5-2. I start off with a changeup away. He's a little bit out in front early. Come right back with a cutter. Or no, that was a curveball away. So we got him to a 3-2 count. And we decided to go right back with a cutter, backdoor, get him looking. So what I mean, sometimes you can set him up with that, with those two pitches there, and the cutter backdoor just gets him looking. Especially if you show him, you pitch him inside, you throw some four seamers, changeups away, and you come back with that backdoor cutter. Next opponent, I show him a curveball again. We get to a 0-2 count, so we decided to go ahead and go with a high fastball. So it lays off. Sometimes, guys, it's too predictable if you go to the curveball and then right back to the high fastball. Sometimes you want to show it at different times, but we decided to go back with a changeup away and got him out in front there. He was looking for a fastball. Alright, later in the game, I am facing, looks like too low here. Start him off with a slider down and away, get him out in front. This guy had a pretty decent bat, quick bat. Again, we go back to the slider away, missed my spot a little bit. And here I decided to challenge him with a fastball inside. Missed my spot a little bit. What that pitch did though was set up a cutter in case I decide to throw it. But here we're going to try to throw a high slider. Look like it's going to be a fastball. He does an off-router, so we get the called strike anyways. And we come right back with the cutter on the inner half. It's got some late movement. Fooled my opponent a little bit, and he had a late swing and struck him out. Here's another clip against somebody in the 1850s. Start him off with a cutter on the inner half. He's way out in front of it. Gets a nice little dribbler to my catcher and throws him out. And finally, we have one more clip for you guys, and this was against a pretty good player as well. He's almost in the World Series, but we start him off with a fastball in the inner half, get him to fly out pretty easily there to my center fielder, and then I want to show you guys this final pitch sequence to Mark Teixeira. So starting out, I go with a slider down and in, trying to get him to chase because he's starting to get a little bit more aggressive. Actually, that was the changeup, and then we're going to go right back. Trying to jam him here with the cutter on the inner half, and we do so. We get him tied up there, so we get him to a 0-2 count. But this player, he's really good at picking up the pitches, laying off. So we're going to try to get him out any way we can. We try a high fastball, high and away, missed our spot a little bit there. We come right back with looks like it's going to be a slider down and in. Missed my spot again a little bit. He lays off somehow. I don't know how he laid off that, but we get him to a 2-2 count. And here we're going to go with the curveball. Missed our spot again. So we got a 3-2 count now, so now we just have to attack. And we decided to go with that backdoor cutter. And bam, get him looking in the game. Hope you guys enjoyed the review. Kenley Jansen, I think he's at least a top 5 reliever in the game right now, so make sure to go get him and try him out. This is Cardinal Bird 5 signing out. Peace.